Hey everybody, thank you guys for joining me this evening. Let me know that you guys are there. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm trying to type in the chat, but it's on all caps and I don't want y'all thinking that I'm hollering at y'all. That's rude. Don't you just hate when people like respond to you in all caps sometimes? And you just automatically like, why are you hollering at me? You know, sometimes all caps is necessary to express a point, but generally it's like, it's hollering at you. Hey Erica, how are you doing? This is the first Kiki back since my vacation. I'm glad to be back with you guys. I missed you guys. Seeing some stuff popped off while I was on vacation. Trust me, I enjoyed my vacation. It didn't last long enough. Mercury retrograde is over. I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you're doing well as well. Mercury retrograde is over. It has went direct. Yeah, I need another vacation too. Vacation from the vacation and then go back on the vacation. That's what I need. Yeah, so it's direct. Mercury is direct now, and now we're moving into a full moon, which will be this Sunday in the sign of Aries, and you know that's a fire sign. So this will be a great time to do some deep healing and releasing anything that no longer serves you. And if you want to be setting intentions, definitely want to set some intentions for deep healing and releasing negative energies, negative thinking, negative mindset that's keeping you from living your best life and moving forward. So don't forget, full moon this Sunday on the 9th in the sign of Aries. So get your candles ready. White candle is generally all purpose. We're in the fall season, so you might want to get some fall colored candles like, you know, yellow, green, orange, black. Is Halloween season. You know, this is the season of the witch. It's October. Besides September, this is my favorite month. I love Halloween. So let's get some PSAs some out of the way besides the full moon. The last Thursday of the month, I will be doing like I did last year, which is free tarot readings. So the last Kiki of the month, we will be doing free tarot readings, but it's going to be ancestor readings. So it's going to be messages from your ancestors for this Halloween special. So I'm hoping that you guys mark your calendars, put your reminders on. Don't forget to like the live as you guys come in here. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. And if you're part of the replay gang, let me know in the comments that you're part of the replay gang. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell, y'all. Join the family. So the last Thursday of the month, we will be doing messages from your ancestors. So hopefully you guys can join us that night, because we're just going to have some fun with it and get some readings out of the way and get these messages from our ancestors, because you know the month of October and going into November is the thinning of the veil. And I did a whole series on my Instagram. If you're not following me on the Instagram, which is House of Kamisi on Instagram, on the IGTV is still, I believe it's still up. I did a series about the thinning of the veil, explaining it. It might be on our YouTube channel as well, so definitely I will try. If it's on the YouTube channel, I will try and link it, but if not, definitely hit up our IG page. because I go into depth about the thinning of the veil. And this is a great time to communicate with your ancestors, because the closer it gets to Halloween, the thinner the veil is. It'll be at its thinnest, and communication between the physical world and the spiritual world will be very thin, and activity will be heightened, and you have a greater chance of communicating with your ancestors that has crossed over. And remember, when I said ancestors, it doesn't have to be your direct family member. It could be anybody. So anybody that just recently passed, that's a celebrity that you want to talk to, or even not even recently passed, that have passed on, that you want to communicate with. Halloween time is definitely that time to try and tap into that energy, because the veil is at its thinnest. But definitely check out that series on our IG page. Again, the IG page is House of Kimisi. And if I did put it on the our YouTube channel, I will try and link it in the description bar. I will have to definitely try and find that. So I think that is it. Be on the lookout for this month, the whole month. You know, the first Mondays of this month, because we're doing a new series. We're out of astrology, and we're going to be doing a new series. So be on the lookout for that. I'm starting a new series, so I'm excited because it's Halloween season. So you know, I'm getting a little spooky with it. I love Halloween. I don't know about y'all, but I love it. Yeah, that would be great, because, you know, Halloween season, you know, Halloween and All Saints Day, which is, I believe, November 1st, the Day of the Dead. You got 3 days right there. Halloween, All Saints Day, and Day of the Dead. Those are good days to communicate with your ancestors. So get the crack and get a list ready, and start trying to connect now, and start opening that door of communication, so they'll be prepared to communicate with you. So you could do this with, you know, meditation, setting up an altar and whatnot, and just talking to them daily. You know, I have pictures of my loved ones in different spots of my house, and I just openly talk to them like they're here, because technically they are. So I just have an open communication with them. So try that. Yeah, I talk to my father every day, because I miss him greatly. So I talk to him every day, and that helped with my grief, because I'm a daddy's girl. So when he went, I felt like I was about to go too. But just openly communicating with him every day, and looking at his picture and talking to him every day, helped me with my own grief. So because it made me feel like he was still here physically, in a way, in a sense. So let's go ahead and get started with this Kiki, since that's what you guys are here for. Okay, so if you've been living up under the rock recently, Tia Mowry has dropped a bomb that she is divorcing her husband after 14 years of marriage. Yeah, Ebony is definitely going to show up for you. Definitely. I'm praying for that one. Newbie is fine. Newbie is fine. He was okay after I came back from my vacation. He was well looked after. He was well cared for by his daddy. But I was on vacation, trying to live my best life. So he's doing fine. He's getting back acclimated to me, and I'm getting back acclimated to him, and he's being a nut. But other than that, he's normal. He's fine. So Tia is filing for divorce from her husband, Corey Hardrick. After 14 years of marriage, they have 2 children together, a son and a daughter. And she's citing what celebrities normally cite, irreconcilable differences. So basically, she's not giving a reason. But no one saw this coming. We was all focused on Giselle and Tom Brady's mess, no one really saw this coming. And this is also following on the heels of Tamara's book release. I think she did a live yesterday on Facebook, answering some questions and everything like that, giving out signed copies and whatnot. I caught the very tail end of it, and I love me some Tamara. But I caught the very tail end of it, so I'm so happy for her and her book release. I may check it out, but this was a shocker. I don't know about y'all, but this was a shocker to me because, you know, Tia hasn't been on my radar for a minute. They haven't been seen out in public and things like that. So I was just waiting for Tia and Tamara to, you know, hit up the Hallmark Christmas movies soon, because I think Tamara has I think she got a new movie out on Hallmark called Girlfriend something, and which Girlfriendship. And I'm trusting me, I'm trying to watch that. That's on my to watch list. But going back to Tia, no one saw this coming. I know bloody well I didn't see it coming. I did get nosy and do my own little reading, and it just seems like nobody there. I don't think her book is Tamara's book is a biography. I think it's something else. And if I wasn't using my bloody phone, yeah, I don't think it's an autobiography. Let me see. Oh, it's a memoir about life, wine, and cookies. So it's a memoir. So basically, it could be about her. It could be like a biography. I didn't even really look into. I knew she was writing a book, but it sounds like it's a memoir. Memoirs is like an autobiography, so that'll be exciting. Hopefully it'll be a good read. It'll be a good read. I might pick it up, and there's always Audible. If I can't get a signed copy, I'll probably end up hitting up Audible. But like I said, Tia and Corey's this pending divorce was not on my radar. I don't think it was on anybody's, because we've been sitting up there inundated with Kanye and Kim. And then now last week it was Tom and Giselle. So we've been paying attention to them two couples, really. And this bombshell just dropped, and we're just like, really? We thought you guys was good. What the heck? So that also brought up, the questions of, did he cheat, this, that, and other. And like I said, I got nosy. I did a little reading on my own, and it just sounds like they drifted apart, and one was more willing to working on the relationship versus the other, and that I didn't see any cheating. I didn't really dive deep into the reading, but I didn't see any cheating at the time that I did my reading. But who knows, it might come out in the wash. But when I did my reading, it just sounds like one was more willing to put in the work, and that one that was putting in all the work and all the effort got tired and felt like they was living a lie, and felt like they was being cheated in the relationship. Not cheated on, but felt like they was being cheated, like, I'm doing all this work and you're just sitting there type deal. So I'm hoping that if they do go through with the divorce, that's amicable, and for the sake of the kids, because I think the boy is almost a teenager, and she just had this little girl, so I know that the little girl is elementary school age, if that. So she literally just had this little girl, so she might have just started kindergarten, or she's elementary school age. But the little boy, he's like, I think he's close to 10 maybe. So I'm hoping that it could be amicable and it doesn't get ugly. They both have their own prospective careers, acting wise. So, and I think Tia had a cooking show at one point. I think it was, if it wasn't on Food Network, it definitely was on YouTube. I remember that much. And she, she was thriving. She was thriving. So I'm just hoping it's going to be amicable and it doesn't involve the kids as much. And it doesn't get ugly. But yeah, it definitely was a shocker. Another shocker, I don't have the picture, but the singer Miguel and his wife, they're heading for a divorce. And they're like childhood sweethearts and whatnot. And it looked like last year they was probably going to file for a divorce, but this past February, it's between last year and this past February, they was working on their marriage, and they had reconciled, and nobody heard anything else. So I guess we all thought, since we don't hear anything, everything was going well with them. Evidently not, because the wife is filed for a divorce. So that's kind of crazy, kind of shocking. Just like Tia filing for divorce. So people just out here, just this Mercury retrograde must have been very revealing for some of these couples, because this is the third one I know of that is filing for divorce. And Giselle and Tom, well, on Giselle's part, it's been rumored that she's been talking to divorce lawyers for weeks, just, exploring her options. She hasn't filed anything, but she's exploring her options. So we got 3 couples, and then 4 if you want to include Kanye and Kim, but who cares? We got 3 couples here going to the gigs. I haven't said that in a minute. Going to the gigs, and just endings happening just out the blue. Well, out the blue for us regular folk, But for each and every last one of them, I'm hoping that if they do head for a complete divorce, let it be amicable. And if it's kids involved, hopefully it doesn't hurt the kids in the process. Because divorce can get ugly and it hurts the kids. I'm just saying. Let's move on to the next topic. Now, this, I don't know about y'all. I'm not a fisher. I've never went fishing. I know it's a thing. I know they have tournaments, but I never watched these tournaments and whatnot. I'm sorry for any technical difficulties. Hopefully that clears itself up. But I did not know that cheating in fishing tournaments is this big. So these 2 people who are not pictured, I really was trying my best to not picture them, not show their pictures, but the video is out there, and that's what got me, was the video. And they was involved in a fishing tournament for walleye. And walleye, shoot, in Michigan, walleye is a popular fish. I ain't ate it. I'm a catfish person, but I ain't ate no walleye. Let me know if you guys ate walleye and what it tastes like, because I ain't ate no walleye, but I think it's a white fish, and you would think I would like it because it's a white fish. But anyway, but these 2 fishermen involved in this tournament was caught cheating. And I thought, when you're in the fishing tournament, that you had to bring the fish up to the judges in a water bucket, that they were still, so technically they were fresh and still alive. So these guys presented theirs, just in a dry bucket, a dry bin, whatever you want to call it. But people was questioning the weight of the fish. So the judges cut them open, and it was like 5 fish, and they cut them open, and they had like 2 to 3 pound weights in them. You know, little nugget like balls. And it also, not only was they weighted with those weighted balls, but they also had cut up fish fillets inside of the fish. So these people, the people around the other fishermen that was part of the tournament was so angry. They was like an angry mob about to kill these people, because these guys have won tournaments throughout the year, won thousands of dollars, got expensive boats, gear, and they've been cheating. They don't know how long they've been cheating. But girl, you talking about scandalous? I didn't think this was going down in the fishing tournament world. I did not know that outright cheating was this big of a deal in the fishing tournament. I never thought of it. I know cheating happens in, other sports like football, baseball, basketball, boxing, wrestling, doping scandals and things like that. I never thought about it in fishing tournaments. I never thought about it. And for them to stoop so low as to cut up other fish and put it inside of these fish to weight them down or plump them up, it's just crazy. It boggles the mind that they would do that. It boggles, and they never got caught. They never got caught until just recently. So the cops are investigating, because this is a big deal, and they may get banned from other tournaments, because if you guys could see the video, it's bloody crazy. I'll try and link it in the description bar so you guys can see it, because it's all on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. You could search cheating fishing tournament scandal, however you want to search it. But the cops are involved and the cops are investigating. I low-key think it's funny, but these people are dead serious. They was an angry mob about to kill the men. And then one of the judges had to caution the mob and say, look, I'm letting him leave, but I don't want nobody touching him. So they almost had to escort this man away from the area for his own safety. I did not know in a million years, I would never have thought that this would happen at a fishing tournament. I never thought about them weighing down the fish with, weighted balls and stuff like that. I never thought about that. Never. And I talked to some guys at work that actively fish, and they're pissed. And they was like, how did this happen? They said the same thing I said at the beginning. You're supposed to turn the fish in water to show that they was freshly caught. So how was they able to present fish out of water? No pun intended. And think they was going to get away with it and not be questioned. I really thought that they were supposed to turn fish in water, and the judge is supposed to take them out the water, measure them, weigh them, and then they go about their business. And another question that I came up was, what do these people do with the fish afterwards? Now that I'm thinking about the tournament and they have this scandalous cheating, what do they do with the fish afterwards? Because to my understanding, you fish for two things. You fish to either catch the biggest fish. 3, catch the biggest fish so you can mount it. Catch the biggest fish so you can take a picture of it and then release it. Catch and release. Or you fish for food. Yeah, because if you saw this video, I was just like, oh, I kind of got scared for the dude that was cheating, and I shouldn't have, because he asked for it. But I was scared for the man's safety because the way the mob was acting. They was cussing him out, threatening him, and all this good stuff. Like, you should go to jail. You lying son of a blah, 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 blah. I was like, really? I was in shock watching the video. Then I had to send it to a few people like, look, this is a thing. I didn't know this was a thing. So, that man lucky he got out of there alive. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to get jail time, but he might get banned from future tournaments and things like that, or banned, barred, whatever you want to call it. They may even go after his trophies or whatever. They might even go after the previous winnings. I mean, they could go after whatever they want to go after, because, you know, they can't prove that he cheated before, but they certainly can prove that he cheated now because they caught him and it's on camera. But like I said, what the heck do they do with the fish afterwards? Do they donate them? Do they take them home to cook up? I don't know. So many questions that I never thought of. But since this scandal happened, now I got questions about fishing tournaments. I'm gonna go to work. I might have to have a talk with some of the other fishers and be like, if you guys did tournaments, what do y'all do with the fish afterwards? Do you cook them up? Do you donate them somewhere? I mean, you can't release them because they dead. So yeah, but I was in shock how these people. I'm like, I thought I was watching the Trump rally. That's how bad it was, and out of control, and heated, and cussing, and mad. I was like, it sounded like a Trump rally. I was just like, wow, this is how it goes down in fishing tournaments. Wow. Hopefully you guys can see the video, because I was just like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But I'll be mad too. Now, while I was on vacation, I managed to watch this Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. And I think it's 10 episodes and maybe a little bit more. And it's controversy about it, because some people, you know, say this is, you know, this is yet another movie or series that's glorifying Dahmer and making him more of a celebrity, is re-victimizing the victims and their families. And I get that. Have you guys watched this yet? Because I binged the whole bloody series, and I'm into like the psychology of what make people tick, what make people do what they do. So I was watching this from a psychological perspective, because that's what triggers my brain. But we all know Dahmer was a messed up individual, but it does show you his childhood and how he was able to progress into the monster he became. I like the fact, because when this happened, when he got caught and put in prison and everything like that, it was like 1991, and that was like in middle school. And I do recall watching the news and seeing the cops removing things from an apartment, and they was talking about a man that killed people and ate them. So I remember that. I do remember watching that, because as a child, you watch what your parents watch on TV, and it was at night, and you trying to stay up, and your parents watch the news. So eventually you won't go to bed because they not changing that channel anywhere from the news. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix. And to me, I believe it's a good series, because, like I said, I'm watching it from a psychological perspective, because I'm interested in seeing if they explain why he did what he did. But also, it explains the mindset of the people and the police in that era, because you have discrimination on top of discrimination. So, a good portion of his victims were black. people of color and part of the LGBTQ plus community. And Niecy Nash, I'm telling you now, she's the hero. If y'all not gonna watch it for anything, watch it for Niecy. Well, men look at women thighs and say, that look good, boo. So he probably thought of it the same way, but took it to a whole different level by actually wanting to taste it. Consume it. That's when you go a little bit deviant and a little bit too far. Yeah, I understand, Erica. But it did. I liked also that since I was a child when this happened, since I'm an adult, I can see the victims and their backstories and get connected with them emotionally, because the 6th episode about that particular victim, that almost killed me. The 6th episode almost killed me, and I was just like this. I can't believe you did that. I cannot believe you killed this man. I cannot believe you killed this man. I'm telling you, if you guys do watch Dahmer, that 6th episode, child, that'll take you out. That'll take you out. And I'm glad that I watched it, because as an adult now, because I didn't know anything about the victims. Like I said, I was a child. I was getting into middle school in 91. So I was more focused on my brother coming back from the first Persian Gulf War. I was more focused on that versus anything else. But I do remember the apartment and them bringing things out. I can't believe I could remember that. But I do like the fact that they gave more more stories about the victims. I'm very happy about that, because I was able to learn about the victims and learn how he was able to lure them and things like that. It was like the perfect time for Dahmer, to do what he was doing. Unfortunately, because of how society viewed people of color and people that were LGBTQ plus. So it's sad, but it gave me some great perspective of that time and that era and Dahmer and the victims. And like I said, I'm grateful that I was able to learn more about the victims. They really humanized the victims. And I just couldn't believe that he was able to get away with what he was getting away with. So I watched someone else on YouTube, and they was just talking about he was privileged because, he was Caucasian, blue eyes, blonde hair. He was just and he was able to, and the cops believed him over his black neighbor, Niecy Nash. I'm telling you, she did such an amazing job in this series, and I love her. 17. Dahmer killed 17 men and boys. His youngest victim, 14 years old. Some of them he was experimenting on. I can't even say allegedly, because he wanted to make a walking zombie. Yeah, so his youngest victim was 14. And the killer part about that 14-year-old was the simple fact that when the cops was called, and the character that Niecy plays, which is one of the neighbors, had the police call, and they finally showed up, because that was like one of the problems, that she would call so often they wouldn't show up. But the thing is, they was like, dude, she was like, her and her daughter and her daughters was like, you could clearly tell this young man is a minor, and Dahmer is presenting him as, oh no, he's my lover, he's an adult, this, that, and the other. He's just a little hungover. We had a fight, and he was mad because blah 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 blah. So these police officers escorted this boy back to Dahmer's apartment, disregarded Niecy Nash's character. I forgot her name. Miss Glenda. I believe her name is Glenda. Miss Glenda disregarded her and her concerns. The boy couldn't answer because he was drugged and stuff happened to him. I don't want to give too much away, but it's public record. So he couldn't speak for himself. So the police helped escorting him back to the apartment. They was just like, "There's nothing we can do. They're both consenting adults," even though that boy was a minor. It was, it was completely disgusting. And those cops was let go from the force, but they end up getting their jobs back and end up getting awards. They end up getting awards for being good cops. So I'm serious. If you're not into this type of thing, don't watch it. But it is good. It's good to get a little bit more understanding of what happened, what made this man into who he was, and to learn more about the victims and the victims' families and what they went through. You do see some acts being done. Now, I'm not talking about sexual, but I'm talking about, the bad stuff, that excuse me. But so viewer discretion is advised. I would not watch this around any minor children. But it's deep. It's dark. Dahmer was one sick individual. And another thing that they did bring up was after Dahmer got arrested, John Wayne Gacy was out there, killing and becoming a serial killer and everything. They finally catch his butt. And I don't know about anybody else, but it seemed like in the show, Dahmer was getting jealous of the attention John Wayne Gacy was getting. And John Wayne Gacy was sentenced to death. And to me, it looked like Dahmer was jealous that Gacy got the death penalty and got the lethal injection, and Dahmer didn't. He ended up getting life. A couple of life sentences. And on the same day that Gacy was but got the lethal injection, Dahmer got baptized. So you cannot tell me that Dahmer didn't know that Gacy was going to get put to death, get basically euthanized on that day, the same day he decided that he wanted to get baptized to draw attention to himself. So it's just like, to me, it's like a sick jealousy thing. You jealous of another serial killer because he's getting more attention than you. I'm telling you, this show was deep. And if you into psychological things, like you're like into psychology, you'll be interested in this. But I'm telling you, it's deep, it's dark, and this man was sick and messed up. And that does not excuse what he did to those young men and young boys. Because it was horrible and disgusting. He deserved everything that he got. Because Dahmer was killed in prison. And he deserved it. Sorry, not sorry. He deserved it. He deserved worse. But the show was good to me. It was good. But viewer discretion is advised. Whew. Because his father, his father seemed like he was in denial and just thought that Dahmer was an alcoholic and a kook. But yeah, it's crazy. And another thing, if you're interested in stuff like psychological things like that, Watch Mindhunter. Mindhunter is really good because it tells you, it's a series that shows you about how the FBI developed a department that interviews serial killers so they could get a profile of a serial killer moving forward. And it was interesting seeing that, and they also help solve other crimes, like, you know, all the black kids that was being killed in Atlanta. They was helping out with that. So yeah, so Mindhunter and this, you'll learn a lot. Hey Sheila, how you doing? But Dahmer was a very sick, bloody individual. Now, if you are an empath and you are a medium, I would severely advise that you do some heavy protection before watching this, because you may inadvertently channel this man. You can inadvertently channel Dahmer. So if you're going to watch this and you're an empath, a psychic, medium, you able to channel, do some heavy protection before watching this. Sage, and then sage after watching. I would tell you that. Because I have my crystals all the way around. I'm just like, this man is not touching me. You is not invited, boo. You is not invited in my space. I'll watch, but you ain't invited in my space. Nope. You stay wherever you at. Because you deserve to be wherever you at. Hopefully hell. Hell is not a cuss word. It's in the Bible. All right, let's get off of Dahmer and let's move on to the next thing. Now, the next thing I believe is a little bit lighter. No, it's not. I just learned about this today. So, first and foremost, let's go back to Dahmer. My sincere condolences to the victims' families, and I continue to pray for them. Especially in light, since he's back into the media and the show has came out. So I'm still I want to send love and light to the victims that have crossed over, the ones that managed to escape, because there was a few that did escape, and their families, because they went through hell with that man. That man put them through hell. And also my condolences go to the Thai people, the people of Thailand, because today they had a mass shooting. Give me 1 second. Thank you. Sorry for that. There was a mass shooting at a Thai daycare. This man walked up in there. The people saw him coming, so they tried to keep him from coming in, but he shot his way in. He got in there and shot babies. He shot babies. Like 20 babies lost their lives while they were sleeping. It was nap time. 20 babies unfortunately lost their lives. And it's just horrible. They was all sleeping. And some of the teachers, some adults, of course, were killed as well. It's just horrible. And I don't know what sparked this. Oh, I think he had some type of hearing trial. He was released from the police force due to drugs and drug abuse and whatnot. And he immediately left that came to the daycare. I think he also was looking for his child. The child wasn't there, so he shot up the daycare, killing the kids that was there and killing the adult teachers there, one of which was holding one of the children at the time. It's just horrible. Then he went home, found his wife and the stepchild, and killed them. And then he killed himself. I could not believe this. I really could not believe this. So I'm sending love and light to the people of Thailand, sending a bunch of prayers, because this had to be horrific. It was horrific for me to read. It had to be horrific for them to experience. Exactly. He had a shotgun, a handgun, and a knife. This man was he was there to kill. He was there to kill. And he hurt people when he left the daycare on his way to his home. He hurt more people en route to his home. So I'm just like, this is just horrible. And unfortunately, he killed himself. But he should be rotting in jail. Because this was not even necessary. I mean, it wasn't even, him killing these kids was not connected, I don't think, to what he was on trial for. He had a trial or some type of court hearing regarding being let go from the police force due to drug abuse or something like that. Sick, very sick individual, and he was going to take it out on his kids. Because one of the teachers thought that was not like either injured or was not killed during the shooting, thought that he was just picking up, he was a regular, so he was just picking up his kids. But he was there to kill anybody that came in his way. And I'm just like, this is just, we went from one sick individual to another sick individual. I just couldn't believe it. This was just horrific. Just, them babies lost their lives for nothing. For nothing. They had nothing to do with what he was going through. Not a bloody thing. So I'm sending love and light to the people of Thailand, because I cannot imagine that's like one of the school shootings here. You take your kids to school, and next thing you know, you never seeing them again. You just never know now. You don't know when you drop your loved ones off to school, work, whatever, at the airport, if something is going to happen to them. I just can't believe this happened in Thailand. It happens here, and I know it happens in other places, but this is just horrific. Them little babies lost their lives, and the families being affected. I mean, there's video of the families coming to the daycare. I'm not watching that. I don't suggest anybody watching that, because it's just it got to be heartbreaking. And I've seen enough of that from the school shootings in the United States, watching that stuff on the news. I don't need to see that, because it's just heartbreaking and horrible to see. Mothers crying because they're never going to see their kids again. Fathers crying because they're never going to see their kids again. No, I'm not watching that video. But this is just horrific. This is just horrific. But I thought that I should address it, because it showed up on my feed, and these people are just going through it. I can feel it. They just going through it. It's just a horrific act. No excuse for this sick individual. I hope he's dead, but I hope he continue to get what's coming to him wherever the heck he landed. Now, on to lighter news. I don't know if anybody's a Stranger Things fan, but this right here is a major scene from the last Stranger Things season. I believe it's season 4, which was amazing. If you haven't watched season 4, definitely watch Stranger Things because it's worth it, especially if you like the 80s. Now, this couple, they go all out for Halloween, and this year is no different. They going all out with a stranger. They love Stranger Things, so they going all out with a Stranger Things theme. And I don't know how they were able to get Max to float. They not even revealing it, but it's pissing a neighbor off. It's pissing a neighbor off that their Halloween decorations is causing havoc in the neighborhood. It's causing havoc in the neighborhood. It's causing too much attention in the neighborhood. Yeah, Stranger Things is such a good series. I love it. It's a definite hit. I hate to see that it's going to be ending after season 5. But I'm excited to see what season 5 is going to be. I'm excited for this this Halloween decoration because I want to know how the heck they got Max to float. So the couple was forced to stop the Halloween decoration. They had to bring Max down until the HOA or whatever you want to call it gave them approval to continue, which they did. So the Karen neighbor lost, but the people that have this decoration, yeah, but that's actually Max. That's Max floating in the air. That's Max floating in the air. That's a major scene from season 4. But the couple have agreed to only, like during, work weekday, they won't have the lights on. They was going to make some adjustments so it won't be that distracting and bring too much of a crowd into the neighborhood. But everybody is, they said they checked with all the other neighbors, and neighbors was fine with it. They thought it was the coolest idea ever. And I'm sitting up here like this. Yeah, this is the coolest idea ever. How the heck are you making Max float? They're not revealing that. So I'm looking like they got a Karen of a neighbor that's pissed off and jealous and a hater. But the owners of Max won, even though that they're willing to make adjustments. And the Karen lost, which rightfully so, because the HOA or whatever you want to call them said that the people that have this Halloween decoration, they're not violating anything, and they're not, they haven't caused any problems, so they could keep doing what they're doing. I think it's the coolest thing ever because they got the whole little Vecna thing going, the little monster that with the long arms. They got all of that. They got the little fly trap looking things. Yeah, they got all of that out. And they're going all out for this year for their Halloween decorations. And it's all Stranger Things themed. But the most amazing thing is how the heck are they allowing Max to float? It's crazy. It's not I don't even see a string. With the videos I've seen, I don't see a string, so I have no idea how they're able to float. And they said they're only going to let Max be out when it's like a certain degree and things like that. So they're making adjustments, but they don't even have to do that. They could just go about what they were doing before, but they're trying to be nice because a Karen called on them. I think this is the coolest thing ever. And I love Halloween decorations. I love it. And Stranger Things is like one of the major things that you probably will be seeing this year out for Halloween. It's going to be Stranger Things. Besides Marvel, it's going to be Stranger Things. But I thought this was like the coolest decoration ever. I really did, because no one can figure out how they're letting Max float. No one can figure that out. No one. And I think it's the coolest thing. So when Max isn't floating, they do have her brother Billy's a makeshift grave for him. So that's where she'll be chilling at when she's not floating. And I was just like, this is just amazing. So go check them out. Google them, because it's worth seeing. They was even on the news. So this is definitely worth seeing. And I think this is the last story. Let me make sure, because I definitely wanted to end on a happy note, because we had some tough things to talk about. Okay, well, that's the end of that. I'm just double checking. Yeah, I'm just double checking. So I wonder why they don't have 11, because I didn't see that in the video. I wonder why they don't have 11. And I don't think I seen the full decoration, because they still was decorating, because I think they said they started in August decorating. So they still doing a little bit each day. I haven't seen Woman King yet. But trust me, I'll probably end up going to watch that. Because between that and Black Panther 2 coming out, yeah, I'm gonna be on one. But it's October and I'm in the Halloween season, and I'm looking forward to Halloween Ends that come out this next Friday. I'm waiting on that. I saw Hocus Pocus 2 and I thought that was the cutest thing. I don't see where people are upset. I don't know what they thought, but I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was the cutest thing. And it was worth the wait for me. So I'm probably going to end up watching it again. So it's going to be in rotation. It's definitely going to be in rotation, that's for sure. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening. Thanks for coming back after the little vacation that I had. I'm glad to be back with you guys and enjoying a nice little kiki with you guys. Don't forget to like the live, share, comment, hit that bell notification if you haven't already done so. And don't forget that the last kiki of this month, we will be doing free tarot readings, but it will be messages from your ancestors. So don't forget that the last Thursday of this month, we will be focusing on the tarot readings on messages from your ancestors. So who you guys got if you guys are into Halloween? Are you for Lori to win? Or are you for Michael to win? Or you say both should die? Let's have that little conversation for a second. Do you think both should die in Halloween? Or just Michael should kill Lori? Or should Lori kill off Mike? Because low key, if they're going to end it, I think they both need to go. So we could continue that conversation in the comments, okay? So thank you guys again for joining me this evening. And I guess I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya. Thanks, Sheila. Just pop it back in to answer some comments. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, Erica, I low key think both of them should go. I was more in the beginning. I was more like Team Mike, but now I'm starting to believe that they both need to go to just go ahead and end things. You know, that would be a good way to end it. You know, both of them kill each other, just take each other out. But we'll see next Friday, and maybe we can have a discussion about it. All right, good night, everyone.